Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to Henry VI, Part 3. I am Pemberton. This is Part 4, and the crown of England begins to change hands as fast as a toss coin. King Edward's rash marriage has bred discontent even among his own brothers. George, Duke of Clarence, sick of being overlooked, forsakes Edward, marries Warwick's daughter, and goes over to the rebel side, while crook-backed Richard, for his own deep reasons, stays. Warwick and his army fall upon Edward in his own camp by night and carry him off a prisoner, but the loyal Richard contrives a bold rescue and spirits the king to safety. The kingmaker, master of England again, frees poor saintly Henry from the tower and sets the hollow crown back on his head, and there, in a quiet moment, the old king lays his hand on a boy named Henry of Richmond and prophesies that this child shall one day be England's hope. But Edward is not beaten yet. He lands again, gathers his friends, retakes the city of York and his title with it, and marches south, while Warwick, betrayed and outpaced, musters all his powers for the final reckoning. Let us go on.
Richard, George, Somerset, and Montague enter. Richard asks his brother Clarence what he thinks of King Edward's new marriage to the Lady Grey, and whether their brother has made a worthy choice. You know how far it is from here to France. How could he wait until Warwick came back? My lords, stop this talk. Here comes the king. A flourish sounds. King Edward enters with attendants. Lady Grey enters as Queen Elizabeth, with Pembroke, Stafford, Hastings, and others. 4 stand on one side and 4 on the other. Richard says the king comes with his well-chosen bride. George says he means to tell him plainly what he thinks. Brother Clarence, how do you like our choice, that you stand there thoughtful and half discontented? As well as Louis of France, or the Earl of Warwick like it, and they are surely so weak in courage and judgment that they will take no offence at the way we have insulted them. Suppose they do take offence without cause. They are only Louis and Warwick. I am Edward, your king, and Warwick's too, and I must have my will. And you shall have your will, because you are our king. Still, a hasty marriage rarely turns out well. What, Brother Richard, are you offended too? Not I. No, God forbid that I should wish separated those whom God has joined together. Yes, and it would be a pity to part a pair who fit so well in the same yoke. Put your scorn and dislike aside, and give me some reason why the Lady Grey should not become my wife and England's queen. You too, Somerset and Montague, speak freely what you think. Then this is my opinion. King Louis becomes your enemy because you mocked him over the marriage to the Lady Bona. And Warwick, who was carrying out the task you gave him, is now dishonored by this new marriage. What if both Louis and Warwick can be appeased by some plan I can devise? Even so, joining with France in such an alliance would have strengthened our commonwealth more against storms from abroad than any marriage made at home. Does Montague not know that England is safe by itself, if it is true to itself? But safer when it is backed by France. It is better to make use of France than to trust France. Let us be backed by God and by the seas he has given us as an unbreakable wall, and with only their help defend ourselves. In them and in ourselves our safety lies. For that one speech, Lord Hastings well deserves to have the heiress of the Lord Hungerford. Yes, what of that? It was my will and my grant, and for this once my will shall stand as law. And yet, I think your grace has not done well to give the heiress and daughter of Lord Scales to the brother of your loving bride. She would have suited me or Clarence better, but in your bride you bury brotherhood. Or else you would not have given the heiress of the Lord Bonville to your new wife's son, and left your brothers to seek fortune elsewhere. Poor Clarence, is it a wife that makes you discontented? I will provide one for you. In choosing for yourself you showed your judgment, and since the judgment is shallow, you must allow me to act as my own broker in my own cause. For that purpose I intend to leave you soon. Leave me or stay, Edward will be king, and will not be bound to his brother's will. My lords, before it pleased his majesty to raise my rank to the title of queen, do me only justice, and you must all admit that I was not of low birth, and women lower than I have had the same good fortune. But as this title honors me and mine, so your disapproval from those whom I would like to please clouds my joy with danger and sorrow. My love, do not humble yourself before their frowns. What danger or sorrow can fall on you while Edward is your constant friend, and their true sovereign, whom they must obey? No, whom they shall obey, and love you too, unless they seek hatred from me. If they do, I will still keep you safe, and they shall feel the vengeance of my anger. Aside, I hear it, though I do not say much, but I think the more. A post enters. Now, messenger, what letters or what news from France? My sovereign liege, no letters, and only a few words, but they are words that I dare not report without your special pardon. Come, we pardon you. Therefore, briefly, tell me their words as nearly as you can remember them. What answer does King Louis make to our letters? When I left, these were his very words. Go tell false Edward, your supposed king, that Louis of France is sending masked dancers over to revel with him and his new bride. Is Louis so bold? I suppose he thinks I am Henry. But what did Lady Bona say about my marriage? These were her words, spoken with gentle scorn. Tell him, in the hope that he soon proves a widower, I will wear the willow garland for his sake. I do not blame her. She could say little less. She was wronged. But what did Henry's queen say? I have heard that she was there. Tell him, she said, my morning clothes are finished with, and I am ready to put armor on. It seems she means to play the Amazon. But what did Warwick say to these injuries? He, more enraged against your majesty than all the rest, dismissed me with these words, Tell him from me that he has done me wrong, and therefore I will take his crown from him before long. Ha! Did the traitor dare breathe out such proud words? Well, I will arm myself, now that I have been warned. They shall have war and pay for their presumption. But tell me, is Warwick friendly with Margaret? Yes, gracious sovereign. They are so joined in friendship that young Prince Edward is marrying Warwick's daughter. The elder daughter, I suppose, Clarence will have the younger. Now, brother king, farewell, and hold your seat firmly, for I am going from here to Warwick's other daughter, so that, though I lack a kingdom, I may not prove inferior to you in marriage. You who love me and Warwick follow me. George exits and Somerset follows him. Aside, not I. My thoughts aim at something further. I do not stay for love of Edward, but for the crown. Clarence and Somerset both gone to Warwick. Still, I am armed against the worst that can happen, and haste is necessary in this desperate case. Pembroke and Stafford, go on our behalf, raise men and prepare for war. They have already landed, or soon will. I will follow you at once in person. Pembroke and Stafford exit. But before I go, Hastings and Montague, settle my doubt. You two, more than all the rest, are close to Warwick by blood and alliance. Tell me whether you love Warwick more than me. If so, then both of you go to him. I would rather have you as enemies than as false friends. But if you mean to keep your true obedience, give me assurance with some friendly vow, so that I may never suspect you. May God help Montague only as he proves true, and Hastings only as he favors Edward's cause. Now, brother Richard, will you stand by us? Yes, in spite of everyone who tries to oppose you. Good. Then I am sure of victory. Now, let us go, and lose no time until we meet Warwick with his foreign army. They all exit. Warwick and Oxford enter in England with French soldiers. Believe me, my lord, everything so far is going well. Common people are flocking to us in great numbers. George, Duke of Clarence, and Somerset enter. But look, here come Somerset and Clarence. Speak quickly, my lords. Are we all friends? Do not doubt that, my lord. Then, gentle Clarence, welcome to Warwick, and welcome, Somerset. I think it cowardly to remain suspicious when a noble heart has pledged an open hand as a sign of love. Otherwise I might think that Clarence, Edward's brother, was only pretending friendship toward our cause. But welcome, sweet Clarence, my daughter shall be yours. And now what remains but this? Under cover of night, while your brother is carelessly camped, his soldiers scattered in the nearby towns, and he himself attended only by a small guard, we can surprise him and take him whenever we please. Our scouts have found the undertaking very easy. As Ulysses, and brave Dione, by stealth and courage, crept to Rhesus' tents, and carried away the fatal Thracian horses, so we, well hidden under the black cloak of night, may suddenly strike down Edward's guard and seize him. I do not say kill him, for I intend only to capture him by surprise. Those who will follow me in this attempt, cry out the name of Henry with your leader. They all cry Henry. Then let us go silently on our way. For Warwick and his friends, God and St. George. They exit. 3 watchmen enter to guard the king's tent. Come on, my masters, each man take his post. By now the king has settled down to sleep. What, will he not go to bed? No, because he has made a solemn vow never to lie down and take his natural rest until either Warwick or he himself is completely overthrown. Then tomorrow is likely to be the day, if Warwick is as near as people report. But tell me, I pray you, what nobleman is that resting here with the king in his tent? It is Lord Hastings, the king's closest friend. Oh, is it? But why does the king command his chief followers to lodge in the towns around him, while he himself stays out in the cold field? It is more honorable because it is more dangerous. Yes, but give me honor with peace and quiet. I like that better than dangerous honor. If Warwick knew what condition the king is in, I fear he would wake him. Not unless our halberds blocked his way. Yes. Why else are we guarding his royal tent, except to defend his person from enemies in the night? Warwick, George, Oxford, Somerset, and French soldiers enter, all silent. This is his tent, and see where his guard stands. Courage, my masters! Honor now or never. Only follow me, and Edward shall be ours. Who goes there? Stop, or you die. Warwick and the rest all cry, Warwick! Warwick! They attack the guard, who run off crying, Arm! Arm! Warwick and the rest follow them. Drums beat and trumpets sound. Warwick, Somerset, and the rest enter again, bringing the king out in his gown, seated in a chair. Richard, Duke of Gloucester, and Hastings flee across the stage. Who are those men running away there? Richard and Hastings. Let them go. Here is the Duke. The Duke? Why, Warwick, when we parted, you called me king. Yes, but the situation has changed. When you disgraced me in my embassy, I degraded you from being king, and now I come to make you Duke of York. Alas, how could you govern any kingdom, when you do not know how to treat ambassadors, how to be content with one wife, how to treat your brothers like brothers, how to care for the people's welfare, or how to protect yourself from enemies? Yes? Brother of Clarence, are you here too? Then I see that Edward must fall. Yet, Warwick, in spite of every misfortune caused by you yourself and all your accomplices, Edward will always carry himself like a king. Though fortune's malice overthrows my state, my mind rises beyond the reach of her wheel. Then in his mind let Edward be England's king. Warwick takes off Edward's crown. But Henry shall now wear the English crown and be the true king indeed, while you are only the shadow. My lord of Somerset, at my request, see that Duke Edward is immediately carried to my brother, the Archbishop of York. When I have fought with Pembroke and his companions, I will follow you and report what answer Lewis and the Lady Bona send to Henry. Now for a while farewell, good Duke of York. They begin to lead King Edward out by force. What fate imposes, men must endure. It is useless to resist both wind and tide. King Edward is led out, with Somerset going with him. What remains for us to do now, my lords, except march to London with our soldiers? Yes, that is the first thing we must do, free King Henry from imprisonment and see him seated on the royal throne. They exit. Queen Elizabeth and Rivers enter. Madam, what has made you change so suddenly? Why, brother Rivers, have you still not learned what recent misfortune has happened to King Edward? What, the loss of some pitched battle against Warwick? No, the loss of his own royal person. Then is my sovereign killed? Yes, almost killed, for he has been taken prisoner, either betrayed by the treachery of his guard or surprised unexpectedly by his enemy. And as I further understand it, he has newly been committed to the Bishop of York, fierce Warwick's brother, and therefore our enemy. This news, I must confess, is full of grief. Yet, gracious madam, bear it as well as you can. Warwick may still lose what he has won today. Until then, fair hope must keep life from fading. And I hold myself back from despair, all the more because of Edward's child in my womb. That is what makes me restrain my passion and bear the cross of my misfortune gently. Yes, yes, for this I swallow many tears and hold back the blood, sucking sighs that rise in me, so that with my sighs or tears I do not blight or drown King Edward's fruit, the true heir to the English crown. But, madam, where is Warwick gone now? I am told he is coming toward London to set the crown once more on Henry's head. You can guess the rest. King Edward's friends must fall. But to prevent the tyrant's violence, for do not trust a man who has once broken faith, I will go at once to the sanctuary, to save at least the heir of Edward's right. There I shall rest safe from force and fraud. Come therefore, let us flee while we may. If Warwick takes us, we are certain to die. They exit. Richard, Duke of Gloucester, Lord Hastings, Sir William Stanley, and others enter in a park near Middleham Castle in Yorkshire. Now, my Lord Hastings and Sir William Stanley, stop wondering why I drew you here into the deepest thicket of the park. Here is the matter. You know our king, my brother, is prisoner here to the bishop, and is treated well and given great liberty. Often, with only a weak guard attending him, he comes hunting this way to amuse himself. I have secretly informed him that if he comes this way at about this hour, under the appearance of his usual sport, he will find his friends here with horses and men to set him free from captivity. King Edward enters with a huntsman. This way, my lord, for the game lies this way. No, this way, man. See where the huntsmen stand. Now, brother of Gloucester, Lord Hastings, and the rest, are you hiding here to steal the bishop's deer? Brother, the time and circumstances require haste. Your horse stands ready at the corner of the park. But where shall we go then? To Lynn, my lord, and from there by ship to Flanders. Well guessed, believe me, for that was my plan. Stanley, I will repay your eagerness. But why are we waiting? This is no time to talk. Huntsman, what do you say? Will you come along? Better to do that than stay here and be hanged. Come then away. Let us have no more delay. Bishop, farewell. Protect yourself from Warwick's frown, and pray that I may regain the crown. They exit. King Henry enters with George, Duke of Clarence, Warwick, Somerset, young Richmond, Oxford, Montague, and the Lieutenant of the Tower. Master Lieutenant, now that God and my friends have shaken Edward from the royal throne and changed my captivity into freedom, my fear into hope, and my sorrow into joy, what fees are owed to you for my release? Subjects can claim nothing from their sovereigns. But if a humble request may succeed, then I ask pardon from your majesty. For what, Lieutenant? For treating me well? No, be sure that I will repay your kindness well, because it made my imprisonment a pleasure. Yes, the kind of pleasure caged birds feel when, after many gloomy thoughts, they finally hear the familiar music of home and completely forget the loss of their liberty. But Warwick, after God, you are the one who set me free, and above all for that I thank God and you. He was the author of it, you were the instrument. So that I may overcome fortune's spite by living humbly where fortune cannot hurt me, and so that the people of this blessed land may not be punished by my unlucky stars, Warwick, although my head still wears the crown, I here resign the rule of government to you, for you are fortunate in everything you do. Your grace has always been famous for virtue, and now may seem as wise as you are virtuous, by seeing fortune's malice and avoiding it. Few men know how to deal properly with the stars. Yet let me fault your grace in this one thing, you choose me while Clarence is present. No, Warwick, you are worthy of authority. At your birth, heaven assigned you both the olive branch and the laurel crown, as one likely to be blessed in peace and in war. Therefore I freely give my consent to you. And I choose Clarence alone as protector. Warwick and Clarence, give me both your hands. Now join your hands, and with your hands join your hearts, so that no disagreement will hinder the government. I make you both protectors of this land, while I myself will live a private life and spend my later days in devotion, reproving sin and praising my Creator. What answer does Clarence give to his sovereign's will? That he consents, if Warwick gives his consent, for I rest myself upon your fortune. Then, though I am unwilling, I must be content. We will be yoked together, like a double shadow to Henry's body, and take his place. I mean, we will bear the weight of government while he enjoys the honor and his ease. And Clarence, now it is more than necessary that Edward be declared a traitor at once, and that all his lands and goods be confiscated. What else should be done? The succession must also be settled. Yes, and Clarence shall not lack his share in that. But among the very first of your chief affairs, let me beg you, since I no longer command, to send for Margaret your queen and my son Edward, so they may return from France quickly. Until I see them here, anxious fear half eclipses my joy in freedom. It shall be done, my sovereign, with all speed. My lord of Somerset, who is that youth whom you seem to care for so tenderly? My liege, it is young Henry, Earl of Richmond. Come here, hope of England. King Henry lays his hand on Richmond's head. If secret powers are suggesting truth to my prophetic thoughts, this pretty boy will prove to be our country's blessing. His face is full of peaceful majesty. His head was shaped by nature to wear a crown, his hand to hold a scepter, and he himself seems likely, in time, to bless a royal throne. Value him highly, my lords, for this is the one who must help you more than I have harmed you. A post enters. What news, my friend? Edward has escaped from your brother, and as he has heard since, has fled to Burgundy. Unpleasant news. But how did he escape? He was carried away by Richard, Duke of Gloucester, and the Lord Hastings, who waited for him in a secret ambush at the edge of the forest and rescued him from the bishop's huntsmen, since hunting was his daily exercise. My brother was too careless with the prisoner entrusted to him. But let us go, my sovereign, and prepare a remedy for any trouble that may come. All leave except Somerset, Richmond, and Oxford. My lord, I do not like this escape of Edward's, for Burgundy will certainly give him help, and before long we shall have more wars. Just as Henry's recent prophetic words gladdened my heart with hope for this young Richmond, so my heart now fears what may happen to him in these conflicts, to his harm and ours. Therefore, Lord Oxford, to prevent the worst, we will send him away at once to Brittany, until the storms of civil hatred have passed. Yes, for if Edward takes back the crown, Richmond is likely to fall along with the rest. It shall be so. He shall go to Brittany. Come then, let us set about it quickly. They leave. A flourish sounds. King Edward enters before York with Richard, Duke of Gloucester, Hastings, and soldiers. Now, brother Richard, Lord Hastings, and all the rest, fortune has at least made this much up to us. She says that once again, I shall exchange my fallen condition for Henry's royal crown. We crossed the sea safely, and now have crossed back again, bringing the help we wanted from Burgundy. So what is left, now that we have arrived from Ravensburg harbour before the gates of York, except to enter it as our own dukedom? The gates are locked. Brother, I do not like this. Many men who stumble at the threshold are being warned that danger waits inside. Nonsense, man. Omens must not frighten us now. By fair means or foul, we must get in, because our friends will come here to join us. My liege, I will knock once more and summon them. The mayor of York and his brethren appear on the walls. My lords, we were warned that you were coming, and we shut the gates for our own safety, because we now owe allegiance to Henry. But, Master Mayor, if Henry is your king, Edward is at least Duke of York. That is true, my good lord. I know you as nothing less. Then I claim nothing except my dukedom, and I am fully content with that alone. Aside. But once the fox has got his nose inside, he will soon find a way to make the body follow. Why, Master Mayor, why are you still uncertain? Open the gates. We are King Henry's friends. Oh, is that what you say? Then the gates shall be opened. The mayor descends. A wise and sturdy captain, and quickly persuaded. The good old man would gladly have everything go well, as long as it is not his fault. But once we are inside, I do not doubt that we will soon persuade both him and all his brethren to see reason. The mayor and 2 aldermen enter below. So, Master Mayor, these gates must not be shut except at night or in time of war. Come, do not be afraid, man. Hand me the keys. He takes the keys. Edward will defend the town, and you, and all those friends who choose to follow me. A march sounds. Montgomery enters with a drum and soldiers. Brother, this is Sir John Montgomery, our faithful friend, unless I am mistaken. Welcome, Sir John. But why do you come armed? To help King Edward in his time of trouble, as every loyal subject ought to do. Thank you, good Montgomery. But for now we set aside our title to the crown, and claim only our dukedom, until God is pleased to send us the rest. Then farewell, for I will go away again. I came to serve a king, not a duke. Drummer, strike up and let us march away. The drum begins to march. No, stay a while, Sir John, and we will discuss by what safe means the crown may be recovered. Why talk of discussion? I will say it briefly. If you will not proclaim yourself our king here and now, I will leave you to your fortune and go, and I will hold back the men who are coming to support you. Why should we fight if you claim no title? Brother, why do you stand on such fine points? When we grow stronger, then we will make our claim. Until then, it is wise to hide our purpose. Enough of cautious cleverness. Now weapons must decide, and fearless minds climb fastest to crowns. Brother, we will proclaim you immediately. The news of it will bring you many friends. Then let it be as you wish, for it is my right, and Henry only usurps the crown. Yes, now my sovereign speaks like himself, and now I will be Edward's champion. Sound the trumpet. Edward shall be proclaimed here. Come, fellow soldier, make the proclamation. He gives the soldier a paper. A flourish sounds. Reading. Edward IV, by the grace of God, King of England and France and Lord of Ireland, and so forth. And whoever denies King Edward's right, by this I challenge him to single combat. He throws down his gauntlet. Long live Edward IV. Thanks, brave Montgomery, and thanks to you all. If fortune serves me, I will repay this kindness. For tonight, let us lodge here in York, and when the morning sun raises his chariot above the edge of this horizon, we will go forward toward Warwick and his companions. I know well that Henry is no soldier. Ah, stubborn Clarence, how badly it suits you to flatter Henry and abandon your brother. Still, as best we can, we will meet both you and Warwick. Come on, brave soldiers. Do not doubt the day will be ours, and once it is won, do not doubt you will be richly paid. They exit. A flourish sounds in the palace at London. King Henry enters with Warwick, Montague, George, Duke of Clarence, Oxford, and Exeter. What is your counsel, lords? Edward has come from Belgium with hurried Germans and plain-spoken Hollanders. He has crossed the narrow seas safely, and with his troops is marching quickly toward London, and many fickle people are flocking to him. Let us raise men and beat him back again. A little fire is quickly stamped out. If it is allowed to grow, rivers cannot quench it. In Warwickshire I have true-hearted friends, not rebellious in peace, yet brave in war. I will gather them. You, son Clarence, shall stir up the knights and gentlemen in Suffolk, Norfolk, and Kent to come with you. You, brother Montague, in Buckingham, Northampton, and Leicestershire, will find men well inclined to obey your commands. And you, brave Oxford, wonderfully well loved, shall gather your friends in Oxfordshire. My sovereign, with the loving citizens, like his island ringed by the ocean, or modest Diane circled by her nymphs, shall rest in London until we come to him. Fair lords, take your leave, and do not stay to answer. Farewell, my sovereign. Farewell, my Hector, and my Troy's true hope. As a sign of my loyalty, I kiss your highness' hand. Well-intentioned Clarence, may you prosper. Take comfort, my lord, and so I take my leave. And with this, kissing Henry's hand, I seal my loyalty and say farewell. Sweet Oxford, and my loving Montague, and all of you together, once more, a happy farewell. Farewell, sweet lords. Let us meet at Coventry. All exit except King Henry and Exeter. Here at the palace I will rest a while. Cousin of Exeter, what does your lordship think? It seems to me that the force Edward has in the field should not be able to stand against mine. The danger is that he will draw the rest over to him. That is not what I fear. My merit has earned me fame. I have not stopped my ears against the people's requests, nor put off their petitions with slow delays. My pity has been balm to heal their wounds. My gentleness has soothed their swelling griefs. My mercy has dried their streams of tears. I have not been greedy for their wealth, nor heavily oppressed them with great taxes, nor eager for revenge, though they greatly wronged me. Then why should they love Edward more than me? No, Exeter, such graces call for gratitude, and when the lion fawns upon the lamb will never stop following him. A shout is heard within. A York! A York! Listen, listen, my lord. What are these shouts? King Edward enters with Richard, Duke of Gloucester, and soldiers. Seize the shame-faced Henry. Carry him away, and once again proclaim us King of England. You are the spring that makes small brooks flow. Now your source is stopped. My sea shall drink them dry and rise all the higher as they ebb. Take him to the Tower. Do not let him speak. Some exit with King Henry. And lords, let us set our course toward Coventry, where stubborn Warwick now remains. The sun is hot, and if we delay, cold biting winter will spoil the hay we hope to harvest. Let us go early, before his forces join together, and take the swollen traitor by surprise. Brave warriors march swiftly toward Coventry. They exit.
And there we pause, with the board set for the last bloody game. The crown has passed from Edward to Henry and back toward Edward again within a single act, and two armies are converging for a fight that must end it. Warwick the kingmaker, who has made and unmade kings at his pleasure, stakes everything on one last field. The brothers of York gather, with the question of treacherous Clarence still hanging in the balance, and an old king's hand has rested, all unregarded, on the head of the boy who will outlive them everyone. Next time, in the last part, the kingmaker falls, a queen makes her last desperate stand, a young prince is butchered before his mother's eyes, and the saint is murdered in the Tower. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.